Hello again everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are back for the Guide to Gold series where I'll take you guys through the latest online time trial on Gran Turismo and give you some points and tips on how to get a 2 million credit. So as you can see we are in the latest Porsche 911 GT3R that was added to the game in the latest update. Such a beautiful car to drive. I think a very popular car once it came out. The game is definitely been crying out for another Group 3 car. So yeah, I think this has been a very popular one. Um, just a quick note: I don't actually smoke, guys, so don't worry. Um, the Marlboro Gold livery is actually something that my late dad used to smoke back in the day. He was quite a smoker. And when I saw the livery, it kind of made me think of him. So yeah, thought to be a kind of a cool one also, like with the going for gold theme. So yeah, just I don't smoke, so just the heads up, if any, especially if any of my family is watching. But anyways, let us get into the lap. So we at Spa today. Um, Very popular track. Um, one of the tracks. It's very well loved amongst all the drivers. Really, a driver's track that everyone enjoys driving. So you can see we have was this Serrano that's top of the leaderboard. All know he's a yeah, world tour driver or esports driver, and like basically as quick as it gets. So if you can be close to his time, I think you'll set a pretty decent lap. At the moment, the time for gold is 2:20.4. I would say anything under 2:20, and I think you'll be safe. I can't see the time going too much faster. Maybe guys are going for the 2 minutes 15. So I think a high 2:19. I think you should be good for this one. Yeah, let us get into the lap. So starting out, just make this a bit soft on my end. So yeah, starting out the lap, as you guys can hear nothing, actually it might be a bit too soft. So what you can do is make sure that you open up the last corner as much as you can. Exit in first gear, just helps. So put the power down, this thing second gear blocks down, you can see that you can even out quite nicely. The first corner, using the 100-meter board as a reference, you can brake either on the 100 or just a bit afterwards. It's all about making sure you get the apex. So make sure you trail brake and get a nice wide entry to the corners. You can see you want to really be trying to like get as close to this wall as possible. So even here, get on the green, get a bit closer than what I did even there. Opens up the corner nicely, and then you want to exit in first gear. Try to make use of all the track on the side, and then you're going to go flat out all the way. So you can basically flat out all the way until the braking mark at the end of the final straight. So use these corners. You can take a flat out, but just take a line of least resistance. But yeah, corners are both flat out, so make sure you keep it flat out all the way. It's a steady pump, just a bit faster, jumping up to 6 as well. Exhilarating. Next one, we'll see I'm actually using the curb here as my braking point. You can kind of brake in between depending on if you're overshooting it, you can use 100 or brake just after. But I found the curb was kind of a good one for me to use. So on the curb, that's where I'm braking. Now the second gear. For all these curbs, you want to basically be as close as you can on the curbs, but without hitting the bollards here. As if you do even just touch them faintly, you will invalidate that. So you want to making sure you kind of coasting. So you see, yeah, I'm off throttle for a bit. Just let the car rolling nicely, keeping the line. Or you can open up for the corner as well. So you see, I'm off throttle a bit, and then lifting again, trying to keep it as steady as I can. And you'll see there, I just had a bit of a lift, but then quickly up to third gear, back up, trying to get as close as the balls are touching it. Next one, pretty straightforward. I'm using the curve here as a braking reference. You can brake a bit later and kind of V-shape it, or brake a bit earlier and then just keep it narrow. Kind of what works for you. It's just more or less about carrying the speed and then getting good exit. So kind of on the curve there. So the first gear, so I get a bit more narrow this time. Be a bit patient. Second gear, using the track on both sides. So then yeah, as you basically you're on the curb, once you get to the curve, that's when I'm again on the brakes. I'm shifting down to second very quickly, and then quickly back up the throttle. So you see there, shifting down and quickly back up. Just half brake, but make use of the exit of the curve on the right again. You really need to make sure you're using track limits. So you see there, I'm going after the 50, and then so I would say maybe 30 meters in. That's when you're going to be on the brakes. I go down to third gear quickly, and then quickly back up to fourth gear just to get a bit of the extra rotation. See there, the third gear, back up to fourth. Try to go, once you go on the throttle, try to make sure that you don't go off it again and don't off throttle. Next corner, basically on the 50-meter board or on the curb here. Maybe just a little bit before. It's very easy to overshoot this if you're trying to brake too late. So it's important for these two corners coming up that you line up the one corner to make sure you open up for the next one. You'll see what I mean now. So you see on the second gear, try to make sure once again you can be on this curb but even a bit closer, but you want to keep it tight on this section to open up the next section as well. So see, I'm just coasting a little bit and lift off once again as close as I can and early on throttle section. And coming up into the last flowing section, I think I'm just before the curve. That's when you're going to go on the brakes down to second, and then try to make sure that you are very close to those curves again. So down to second, be on throttle. You can make use of all the space here on the left. This is a very tricky one here. So you can take this flat out, but you really need to make sure you get your turn in almost spot on. For this lap, I had a slight lift, as if you get your turning wrong, you can go wide here and it can ruin your lap. So I had a very small lift, but if you get your line out, you can do flat out. So you see there, a small bit of throttle there, but then you're all the way flat out coming up to the last section. So here's kind of, you'll know if you're on a good lap or not, and I think it's certain nerves kicking in, trying to make sure you don't mess up the last section. Yeah, it's all the way flat out. Just keep the line of least resistance. And have a very important braking point. So I'm braking just after the 150 board, around 140 I would say. So then I'll go all the way down to first gear. So late turn in. You can go and kind of abuse this curve. You can even go here on this part here, as long as you're keeping two of your wheels on the curve, you're still within track limits. But if you do go over this part, the rear of the car can slide out. So try to make sure, like, giving a little bit throttle as you're going over it. You see this small throttle skip stable. And then heading to this one, you'll see I just had a small brake just to help the car turn in a bit better. But you keep it in first, try to straighten up as quickly as possible. And then, yeah, go to the first gear. And that was 270. Not a bad lap, quite a decent lap, so I'm not too disappointed. I think there's maybe a bit more time in it, but I think overall it's quite a decent time. So yeah, I'll definitely take that one. And yeah, let's just do a quick foot lap without any interruption. So moving over to the left, looking for the 100-meter board. Just after that, we're gonna go down all into first gear, try and cut this as much as you can, trail very nicely out in first gear, using all the track on the side. Make sure you're revving this car out. You can see like I'm revving it quite high, so it's another tip for this car. Try and cut this curve as much as you can, and then straighten up, line of least resistance, and as well on the left you can abuse that curves. As long as the two wheels are on the curves, you're all within track limits. All the way down the straight, keeping it in fifth gear, slowly moving over to the left. You're going to be looking for when the curve starts. As you're going to brake down to second gear, try and get as close to the ball as you can. Slight lift here and keep it tight. And then just quickly lift into third gear, put your back onto the throttle, make use of all the track on the side. Looking for the curve on there, that's when you're going to brake in. Down to second, and then eventually down to first. Carry the speed, and as soon as you can, back on the throttle, all the way to, as soon as you get to the right with the curve, that's when you're on the brake. Down to second, early on throttle, make use of the curves again. And then looking for that 50-meter board, you're going to brake just after that, down to third, and then quickly back on throttle. Try to make sure you don't run too wide, otherwise it will push you off by invalidating that. Looking for the curve once again, or the 50. You're going to go down to second, try and stay as close as you can to the bollards. Another lift there, small brake, and then quickly back on throttle. Looking for the curve once again, down to second. get the rotation in, and then quickly back on throttle, try and use all the curves on the side, slight lift for me there, and then all the way flat out. So this is all flat out all the way, just making sure that you keep the line of least resistance all the way, making sure you get a turn here. This is definitely flat out, you get the line right, when you feel if you can do that. And then for the 150-meter board, just after that, you're gonna brake hard down to first gear, try and go over there without taking the car too much. Small brake, just to get the rotation in, exiting first gear, and that's a lap score. Quite a fun lap. Yeah, I think it's a very popular one everyone's really gonna enjoy. But I think gold is definitely doable on this one if you follow some of the points and tips. Very awesome and cool car to drive. I think this is probably the most popular car on the game. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy and like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down in the comment section below if the video helped you out, or if there's anything else that you want to see, or maybe things that didn't work for you. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers everyone. Bye.